Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to my channel. It's Courtney Lynn. Today's video, I'm here in my grandparents' newly remodeled kitchen and I'm doing an organizational video for you today. I'm organizing my grandma's pantry. She asked me if I would come and do it and I gladly accepted because you guys know that I love to organize and I love to film these things for you. So that's what you're getting today, and I'll give you a quick little shot of what this kitchen looks like now. I wish I had some before footage because it does not even look like the same kitchen whatsoever. It's so much more spacious now. It's so much more open, which is perfect for us because we have a very large family. When we get together, there's like over 80 most of the time. So we needed all the room, so we tore down some walls. I say we like I did it. They tore down some walls and made this huge island here, as you can see, and I just love the gray tones. So I'll give you a little quick footage of what we got going on in here. And like I said, it's not completely done. There's still a couple things that need to be finished up, but for the most part, it's there. So organizing her pantry, I'm so excited. This pantry has a lot of potential. So I went shopping and I grabbed a few things. Hopefully I grabbed enough, but we'll see how it goes today and see if we can make it look pretty good. So let's get started, guys. All right, I found some photos from before the renovation. As you can see, they tore all of the walls down in this area and completely opened this space up. Now, my grandparents are both in their 80s and they did this kitchen remodel, picked out most everything themselves, and did such a good job coordinating everything together. And these cabinets are actually the same cabinets. They just repainted them and they look so beautiful. One of my favorite things about their new kitchen is this huge 9-foot long island. It is so awesome to have that much space when we all get together. All right, let's talk a little bit about organization. And now that I have everything here, I feel like I don't have enough stuff. But the thing about my grandparents' pantry is that they buy a lot of bulk items. They shop at Costco a lot, and so they buy bulk. Like I said, we have big families, so it just makes more sense for them, and they eat out a lot, so everyday items and stuff they just buy in bulk, so they don't have to go as often to shop. So I didn't know how much I could fit into containers anyway, but we're gonna give it a go. We're gonna see how it goes. So we got these for my grandma's pantry. I believe it's Sam's Club. This is a set of 8 sealable containers. And then I got these little storage baskets right there. They have a handle on them, which I thought was pretty cool, to sit on the shelves with a little handle. I liked that aspect of it. I got these at Big Lots. And then these are really cute and sleek. I got these at Ikea, and I wanted some bigger ones. Like I said, a lot of things are bulk here in the kitchen, in the pantry. But this was as big as they had in these certain containers. So I got these at Ikea. I got a couple of them. And the thing that I'm mostly excited about today is this little cart, and I'll show you a little video of me putting it together. But I got this at Ikea as well. It was $30, and I really like it because I figured I can put some storage on it, and then when it's time for get-togethers, family events and stuff, whatever I put on it, we can roll it out or use it for different things. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But there's my organizational stuff, and I'm gonna put some vinyl on each of these containers so we can make it look a little bit better. Let's get started, guys. I'm excited. All right, let's take a look inside the pantry. As I said, they moved back in a couple months ago. So everything is in here, not necessarily organized. So that's what I'm working on. Gonna try to make everything look a little bit neater, a little bit better. We'll see how it goes. One of my favorite parts about this pantry is this countertop right here that matches the countertop in the rest of the kitchen so that they can put their appliances on it and use them, keep them plugged in right there. So that's super cool. I like that feature of this kitchen. So first things first, today I'm taking everything out of the pantry, going to give myself a blank canvas to start working with. Now, if you are here looking for ideas of how to organize, maybe you don't organize regularly, maybe you're not very good at it, and you're just trying to figure out how to organize, my first tip is to just clear the space first. If you take everything out, then you can kind of see what you have to work with, and then you can clean the space before placing everything back in. So here everything is out, and I kind of organized it, put it into categories as I was pulling it out. That saved me a few minutes. As you can see, there is lots of room in this pantry, and I'm excited to get this space organized. I'm just dusting down each of the shelves and gonna get this granite countertop cleaned up as well. So before I put all of the appliances back in the pantry, I noticed that they needed to be cleaned. Specifically, this toaster needed the crumbs shaken out of it. So I did that real quick, and then just used some glass cleaner and a microfiber cloth to shine up these stainless steel appliances. I mentioned this a few minutes ago, but like I said, my grandparents are in their 80s and they did their kitchen remodel, which is such a big thing for 80-year-old people to do, because I know that remodels of any type can be very stressful. So we are very proud of them for doing all of the hard work and sticking with it. But I'm really fortunate to have such a good relationship with my grandparents, and both sets of my grandparents actually, on my mom and my dad's side. I love both sets of them dearly, and I'm blessed to be able to spend a lot of time with them and learn from them, and I feel like I have such a great relationship with each of them, to where they're more like friends to me, and I can always talk to them whenever I need to, and I'm really, really grateful for that. So I got the appliances back in there, and I know that some of these appliances they won't probably use here in the pantry, but it is nice to have them out at a convenient spot where you can easily get to them, putting them back in and taking them out to use. Now, everything that I'm using today, including this can organizer, I'm going to link in the description box below. If I cannot find that specific item that I'm using to organize, I'm going to link a similar one, and I'll let you know if it's similar or if it's the exact one. So if you see anything today that you would like to use for yourself for organizing your pantry, check the description box, because I more than likely will have it down there. Now, this was an organizer that my grandma already had in there, so I didn't have to purchase this one, but I'm just trying to arrange the spices in there in their groups. I'm taking these bins that I got from Big Lots, and I'm using them to arrange the bigger seasonings. My grandma has a lot of seasonings that are in bulk containers. If you put seasonings up on the shelf, you're gonna have a hard time finding all of them, because you're gonna stack them at least 3 deep. So I figured with these containers that have handles, she could pull them out very easily and find her spices that way. Took me a little while to get them all fit in there the way that I liked, but I finally got it, and I think I found a system that will work best for them. Now over on this side of the pantry, I am placing the majority of their breakfast items. My grandparents eat a lot of breakfast at home, so I'm trying to group everything together where they can get to it easiest. In this first little container that I got from Ikea, I'm grouping all of their jams and jellies in there together so that if they need to grab those for breakfast, they'll all be in the exact same spot, right by the breakfast items. Next thing is these flip lock storage containers that we got from Sam's Club, and we use these at our home. We have a set of them and we really love them. Not only do they help keep your items fresh after you've opened them, but they also look really cool in the pantry. They look better than a sugar bag or a flour bag or whatever you have, a cracker box for instance. They just look really cool, make your pantry look so chic, I guess would be the right word. So for this first container today, I'm taking out the stuff and I'm just rinsing these out because I know they're probably clean already, but just in case, I just wanted to rinse them out before I put stuff in them. But for this first container, I'm going to be filling it up with flour, and the amount of flour that they had left was just perfect for this container right here. And this was the biggest container that came in the box, besides the spaghetti one you saw to the right there. That one's taller, but this one is definitely the widest, and so I'm putting all of the sugar in here. So if you remembered from the shot that I panned around the kitchen, you would notice that my grandparents' coffee is over on the other side of the kitchen because they have a little coffee bar over there. So they already had a canister of Folgers coffee that had a little bit left in there. And so I'm just pouring the rest of that into this canister. And then they had a brand new Folgers that I'm going to be putting up at the top of the pantry out of the way until they need it. So up on this top shelf is all of their extra items, things that they already have out, but these are just extra of them. I'm putting them up on the top shelf out of the way. And on the second shelf, these are items that they need to get to on a daily basis. For this canister, I'm putting some of their oatmeal in there because it was a perfect fit for the oatmeal and it looks a lot better than these oatmeal boxes. And so for this canister, I'm taking all of their open saltine crackers and placing them in there because that looks a little bit better than just being in a Ziploc bag. And they had this little container, which, like I said, my grandparents don't have a lot of things that would just be little items because most of it's bulk. But I did find this bag of croutons and I threw those in there. And they are welcome to use this for anything. When they run out of croutons, if they find that that was not the best use for this canister, they're welcome to change it to whatever they like. Over here I put the crackers and croutons, and then I just had some random stuff over here. Their cooking oils, and then also some extra like mustard and chicken broth, things like that. I just threw in a little organizer. Now for this top shelf on the other side of the pantry is some of their appliances and bowls and pots and things that they do not use hardly ever. So they wanted them in the pantry, but I tried to put them in a spot where they would be out of the way. And so I took the cart that I had bought from Ikea, and I am putting a little bit of each of their paper products on there to where they can get to them easier throughout the week instead of trying to, rummage through all the bags of plates and bowls and knives and forks and spoons. I'm just putting a little bit on this cart to where they can roll it out each day and use whatever they need on it. And then all of the extra stuff that I didn't put on the cart is going up on the top shelf for the next family event. Now, Grandma didn't want a bunch of stuff on the floor, but I did have to put the paper towels down here and also the trash bags because there was no more room to put any of this stuff. Cart fit under their countertop so perfectly. It's nice and out of the way. Now, I wanted to do something fun for their pantry, like a little frame with a saying in it, and I had kind of an idea in my head, so I went to Goodwill and found this old frame for like a couple dollars, and I wanted to paint it, so I'm going to be painting that gray. So as I started taking the back off and taking the glass out and everything that was in it, the frame broke, believe it or not. So I ended up having to glue the frame together after I painted it, and it ended up staying. So thank God for that, because I was going to be up a creek without a paddle because the frame that I was relying on just broke in my hands. But I guess that's what you get when you buy a used frame. But it was just a couple dollars, so I didn't complain once I glued it, and it worked. I'm just using some gray spray paint here. I just did a really light coat on it, not too heavy because I didn't want it to run on the frame. And then once that dried, I went ahead and glued it on the front and the back, and then I gave it another coat, and that was all it needed. Now for the image inside, I knew that I wanted to create something that said, "Give us this day our daily bread," which is a little part of the Lord's Prayer. And I think that's so cool to have something food related, also part of our faith on there. So I went to canva.com and I created an image that said, "Give us this day our daily bread," with a little picture of bread behind it. Made that image behind it very translucent, so it was not very bright at all. And then made those words pop. Then I sent it over to Walgreens to be printed out and picked it up. So here I am now back at the kitchen, and I'm cleaning this frame glass and ready to put this picture in there. I did tape the edges of the frame just to be safe, because I knew that I glued it, but I wanted to make sure that it was going to have a little bit of extra strength, so I did tape it. And I also had to print the picture bigger than the frame because they didn't have the right size, so I printed it bigger and then cut it to fit. And of course there was no way to attach the picture in there and keep it in there, so I went to tape again, and that worked for me. Overall, this frame and printing the picture cost me probably about $12 total. I was really happy with the way that it turned out too. So I finished the pantry and I came back a couple days later to put some labels on the containers that I used. My mom found these gray peel and stick labels that she had bought on clearance. Who knows when she did it, probably a long time ago, and they were perfect for what I was needing. Plus they were gray, which matches the entire kitchen. I ended up only using 4 of the labels because I didn't want to put a label specifically on the crackers or the croutons because, like I said, if they find something else that they would like to store in those containers, I want them to be able to do whatever they want with those and not have to worry about putting crackers in them just because the sticker says crackers. I did add a sticker to the oat milk container as well. I just did not have that on the video. Well, guys, that was the end of my pantry organization. Let's take a look at the before and after of this pantry. My grandparents sent me a picture the next morning after I had left, and they had used this cart to put all of their breakfast items on it that they needed for that morning, and they rolled it right over to the table. They said it saved them a lot of steps, and I thought that was pretty cool. Well, I was extremely happy with how this pantry turned out. I felt like I was able to put everything in spots that were convenient for my grandparents. Things that they need on a daily basis are right there on eye level, and things that they do not need are up and out of the way, and when they need to get to them, we will be around to help them find that. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel for more content like this to come. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.